The morning sun breaks through mist, casting golden light across a landscape transformed beyond recognition. Where rolling green fields once stretched toward distant hills, a new geography has emerged, written in brick and iron, steam and ambition. Substantial buildings rise like monuments to human ingenuity, their tall windows catching dawn's first rays, their chimneys reaching skyward. This is England in the 1840s, a nation in the midst of the most profound transformation in human history, rebuilding itself from the ground up, powered by coal, driven by steam, and animated by millions who have come to participate in something entirely new. The city awakens not to roosters, but to the deep, resonant sound of factory bells, their iron voices calling across neighborhoods where streets are still being laid, where buildings rise month by month, where everything feels charged with becoming. Men and women emerge from rows of newly constructed houses, two-story dwellings made of red brick with slate roofs, each identical yet representing something revolutionary. Urban housing for families who, just years ago, lived scattered across rural parishes. Now they walk together toward the factories, their footsteps creating a human river flowing through streets lined with gas lamps. Those modern marvels that will, come evening, turn night into something approximating day. The architecture speaks a language of ambition and order. Georgian proportions meet practical necessity in buildings housing not just machinery, but hope itself. The factories stand 4, 5, sometimes 6 stories tall, their facades decorated with modest cornices and window surrounds. Red brick, locally fired and uniform in color, creates visual harmony across entire neighborhoods. Cast iron columns support vast floors within, creating cathedrals of industry where light streams through hundreds of windows, illuminating coordinated human activity on an unprecedented scale. Between the factories, the city pulses with commercial energy. Shop fronts display goods that would astound a visitor from the previous century. Bolts of cotton fabric in every color and pattern, ready-made clothing on wooden forms, ceramic dishes produced by the thousands, metalware from Birmingham workshops, all affordably priced for people earning regular wages. Large panes of increasingly clear glass allow passersby to see the abundance within. Above these shops, families live in apartments with wooden floors, plaster walls decorated with printed wallpaper, and factory-produced furniture more affordable than anything available to their grandparents. The streets themselves reveal the age's character. Cobblestones, fitted with geometric precision, support constant traffic of horse-drawn wagons loaded with raw materials and finished goods. Raised pavements along building fronts provide pedestrian walkways, a recent innovation separating foot traffic from vehicles. Cast iron bollards protect corners from carriage wheels. Street signs announce names, mixing old tradition with industrial optimism. Mill Street, Factory Lane, Progress Road, Victoria Avenue. Gas lamp posts stand at regular intervals, their ornate ironwork demonstrating that utility and beauty need not be enemies. Inside the great textile mills, the scene unfolds like choreographed ballet. Rows of power looms, each the size of a small carriage, operate in synchronized rhythm, their wooden frames and metal components moving with precision. The machines are fed by overhead shafts connected to central steam engines, that revolutionary power source liberating production from water wheels and human muscle. Workers move between looms with practiced efficiency, monitoring the weaving process, replacing bobbins, ensuring continuous transformation of thread into cloth. The space is illuminated by daylight flooding through tall windows designed to provide optimal light. The wooden floor beneath is swept clean, the whole environment representing organized production. Young people predominate here, men and women in their teens and 20s who have come from rural areas seeking opportunity. They wear practical clothing, men in cotton shirts, waistcoats, and dark trousers, sleeves rolled to the elbow, women in simple dresses with aprons, hair pinned back neatly, many wearing mob caps. There is a sense of community, of shared purpose, as these workers learn skills that did not exist in their parents' generation. Skills commanding wages paid in coin, offering choices previously unavailable to working people. The transformation extends beyond factory walls. Markets have evolved from seasonal affairs into daily occurrences, with permanent covered structures housing vendors selling vegetables brought by rail from distant farms, meat from urban butchers, bread from bakeries producing hundreds of loaves daily in coal-fired ovens. The variety represents agricultural improvements happening alongside industrial change. Potatoes from new high-yield varieties, dairy products from specialized farms, fruits arriving fresh thanks to rapid rail transport. Housewives carry woven baskets, examining produce, comparing prices, exercising purchasing power from regular family income. The railway station stands as perhaps the most potent symbol of this transformed world. Built in grand classical style with arched entrances, columns, and decorative stonework, it functions as the city's gateway to everywhere else. Platforms bustle with travelers, merchants heading to meetings, families visiting relatives in towns now just hours away instead of days, workers relocating to cities where opportunities beckon. The locomotives themselves are masterpieces of engineering, their metal bodies painted in company colors, brass fittings polished to mirror shine. Steam billows from smokestacks as they prepare for departure, while porters load luggage into wooden carriages fitted with increasingly comfortable seating. Along Main, thoroughfares, buildings demonstrate the wealth that industry generates. Banks occupy corner properties, their stone facades and Greek Revival columns projecting stability. Insurance companies, shipping offices, and merchant headquarters rise 3 and 4 stories, their interiors divided into rooms where clerks sit at wooden desks, recording transactions in leather-bound ledgers, managing the vast flow of information that commerce requires. These white-collar occupations represent yet another new category of work, jobs requiring literacy and numeracy, skills increasingly valued in this data-driven economy. Educational institutions multiply to meet these demands. Mechanics institutes offer evening classes where working men learn mathematics, technical drawing, and scientific principles. Sunday schools teach reading and writing to children whose parents recognize that literacy opens doors. Libraries, some funded by wealthy industrialists, make books available to borrowing members, spreading knowledge beyond the traditional elite. The very notion that ordinary people should be educated represents a philosophical revolution accompanying the industrial one. Leisure, too, is being transformed. Public parks, newly created in Georgian style, with walking paths, flower beds, and ornamental lakes, offer city dwellers access to nature within urban boundaries. On Sunday afternoons, families stroll these manicured landscapes, fathers in dark suits and top hats, mothers in colorful dresses with full skirts and bonnets adorned with ribbons, children in miniature versions of adult clothing. Musical concerts are performed in bandstands, their domed roofs supported by decorative iron columns. Music drifting across lawns where people sit on benches or stand socializing in ways impossible in scattered rural communities. The domestic sphere reflects industrial abundance. Homes, while modest, contain factory-produced goods representing material improvement, cotton sheets and blankets from local mills, ceramic tableware from Staffordshire, metal cookware from Birmingham, furniture constructed from standardized components. Windows feature cotton curtains, often in cheerful prints, filtering sunlight into rooms where wooden floors are covered with rag rugs, where simple wooden chairs surround tables used for eating and family activities. Coal fires, fed by fuel brought by canal and rail from distant mines, heat these spaces through winter months. The coal arrives at urban depots via intricate transportation networks. Canal boats, painted in traditional styles with decorative folk art, deliver their black cargo to wharves where it is distributed to households and factories. The canals thread through cities, their still waters reflecting warehouse facades, their towpaths busy with horses pulling laden boats. Locks operate continuously, raising and lowering vessels in a rhythm that seems almost natural, despite being entirely engineered. Religious life adapts to urban realities. Churches erect new buildings in Gothic Revival style, their pointed arches and decorative stonework creating islands of tradition amid industrial modernity. Sunday services draw large congregations, families dressed in finest clothing, the church serving spiritual and social needs, providing community in cities where many are recent arrivals. Charitable activities help newcomers find housing and employment, creating networks of mutual support, easing the transition to urban life. The rhythm of factory bells structures the day in 6-hour segments. During breaks, streets fill with people seeking refreshment at tea rooms and coffee houses, new establishments catering to workers with money to spend. These venues serve simple fare, bread and butter, meat pies, cheese, all accompanied by tea or coffee, beverages that have become daily staples rather than luxuries. The social interaction these spaces facilitate builds urban culture, creating bonds between people, sharing the experience of industrial employment. The clothing worn throughout these cities tells its own story. Cotton fabric, once expensive, now appears everywhere, in working men's shirts, women's dresses, children's clothing, household linens. The variety of patterns made possible by advances in printing and dyeing allows for individual expression within limited budgets. Ready-made clothing, sized in standard measurements and available off the shelf, represents a revolution in personal consumption. Factory-produced garments clothe the majority, their consistent quality and affordable prices democratizing fashion. Evenings bring their own character. As daylight fades, lamplighters make their rounds, igniting gas jets and street lamps that transform the urban landscape. Pools of yellow light creating islands of visibility along thoroughfares, where people continue moving after sunset. Shop windows remain illuminated, their displays creating pedestrian theaters inviting window shopping, that peculiarly modern activity of browsing without necessarily buying. Public houses, their windows glowing warmly, serve as social centers where workers gather, discuss events, build friendships, and create the cultural life of urban neighborhoods. The sounds create an auditory landscape entirely novel in human experience. The constant background hum of machinery, rhythmic clatter of looms, hiss of steam engines, rumble of wagon wheels on cobblestones, calls of street vendors, bells marking time from factory towers and church steeples, whistles of trains, all blend into a symphony of progress that never quite ceases. Even in deepest night, when reduced but never absent activity continues. Entrepreneurial energy animates every corner. Small businesses proliferate, metal workers producing specialized parts, printers creating labels and paperwork, boarding houses offering accommodation, dining establishments serving meals, shops selling tobacco, newspapers, stationery, and 1,000 other items. The ease of starting a small enterprise, requiring only modest capital and good location near foot traffic, allows ambitious individuals to improve their circumstances through effort and ingenuity. Transportation technology advances within cities. Omnibuses, large horse-drawn vehicles carrying a dozen or more passengers, operate on fixed routes for fixed fares, making urban travel accessible to working people. These vehicles, painted in company colors and displaying route information, represent public transportation in its infancy. The drivers, often characters known throughout their routes, navigate crowded streets with practiced skill. The public sphere includes spaces for community gathering. Town halls built in impressive classical or Gothic styles host meetings, lectures, and entertainments. Concert halls bring musical performances within reach of broader audiences. Lecture halls offer educational programming, with speakers addressing topics from scientific discoveries to travel accounts, feeding the intellectual hunger of increasingly literate populations curious about the wider world. The postal system, expanding rapidly with railway transportation, connects city dwellers to distant places with unprecedented speed. Post offices process thousands of letters daily, maintaining communication networks binding the nation together. The penny post, making correspondence affordable to ordinary people, democratizes written communication, allowing family members separated by industrial migration to maintain bonds through regular exchange of news. Photography, newly invented and rapidly spreading, appears in city studios where entrepreneurs capture permanent images. These early photographic establishments with glass skylights and painted backdrops offer families the opportunity to preserve their likenesses, creating tangible records of their existence in this transformative time. The process, though time-consuming and requiring subjects to remain motionless, produces images of remarkable clarity, freezing forever the faces and fashions of this pivotal decade. Public health infrastructure develops alongside industrial growth. Water companies lay pipes beneath streets, bringing relatively clean water to standpipes and, in better neighborhoods, directly to homes, eliminating the labor of water carrying. Public baths, funded by civic-minded industrialists, offer workers access to hot water and bathing facilities, promoting cleanliness and health in ways impossible in individual homes lacking plumbing. As twilight deepens on a typical evening, the city glows with unprecedented light. Factory windows blaze with illumination from hundreds of gas jets and oil lamps. Street lamps create corridors of visibility along major thoroughfares. Home windows show warm candlelight and lamplight, each representing a family gathered in their modest but secure space. The railway station remains brilliantly lit, its activity continuing as late trains arrive and depart. Church towers, illuminated by moonlight and strategic lamp placement, stand as vertical anchors in the urban landscape. This is England in the 1840s, a civilization inventing the modern world, creating patterns of urban life, industrial production, and social organization that will spread across the globe in coming decades. Every element of this landscape, from the smallest cottage to the largest factory, from the humblest worker to the wealthiest merchant, participates in something unprecedented, the deliberate reorganization of society around mechanical production and urban living. The men, women, and children who walk these streets, work these machines, and inhabit these homes could scarcely imagine how thoroughly their world will transform in the coming century. But they can sense it, can feel it in the energy pulsing through every brick and beam, every transaction and connection, every sunrise revealing a landscape more changed than the day before, every sunset falling on a world growing more modern, more connected, more alive with possibility than any previous generation could have conceived. If this journey through industrial England touched something within you, if you found yourself wondering what it would have been like to witness humanity's great leap into the modern age, please subscribe to our channel to travel through more forgotten chapters of history. Give this video a thumbs up to help others discover these immersive historical experiences. And leave a comment telling us what moved you most about the story of 1840s England and how factories forever changed the rhythm of human life. Was it the transformation of the landscape, the birth of urban communities, the dawn of modern work, or perhaps the resilience of ordinary people navigating a world being reinvented around them? Share your thoughts below. Until our next journey through time, remember that every street you walk, every building you enter, every convenience you enjoy carries echoes of those who came before, building the world we now inhabit.